Hello, welcome. Thanks very much for joining me. You joined me on the quali lap for the season 2 of Daytona Sandown Park Super Champs. So into turn 1 here, we've got cold tyres. It's a warm day, but yeah, even on a warm day, the tyres aren't quite up to temperature. Yeah, into turn 3 here, I was quite conservative, and lap was going okay, just at the moment, really tight, but this moment here, that has just cost us a shot at heavyweight pole. It was really tight. I'll show you the times in just a moment. The rest of the lap is more or less clean, perhaps a little bit of oversteer just into turn 6. It's not the end of the world, that one, and again just a little bit of understeer on the way in to the final corner there, but again not the end of the world. But this was the difference, 3/100ths of a second, so that moment around turn 4 certainly cost us. So well done to Andrew Clark, who's just onto your left on the screen with the Red Bull helmet and the black suit. So he's on heavyweight pole, yeah, I wasn't fast today. I can't be. I can't be sort of blaming anything else. One of the things, one of my problems was I turned up really hungover. Not trying to make excuses, but we're off. Yeah, here we are. Not the best start in the world. We've got a couple of karts coming around the outside, around the inside, but then Andrew just gets into the side of Nick Fallon, and that opens up a gap for us, and we're up the inside. Now that's a really important move, because like I said, I was looking at the practice times and I wasn't quick. It wasn't like, I just had a bit of a dodgy qualifying lap. This, by the way, is Tom Brown's start. Now, he was absolutely rapid today. Here we are. Look, there he is in his rocket ship. This is the start from the outboard. Thank you very much to Aidan Fallon for the outboard footage. Again, really lovely to see it here. So that's Tom Brown on pole, it's lightweight pole, also overall pole. But yeah, he was absolutely rapid today. He's one of, if not the fastest guys out there, and when he gets the best car as well, frankly, none of the rest of us have a chance. So, he's going to disappear off pretty quickly. So we're in 4th on the road now, first in class. The 3 ahead of us are the first 3 are lightweight drivers. So again, not really people that we need to fight with, but if we can hold on to them, it'll be nice. Round the final corner into lap 2 here, and you can see that the second and third are shaping up into a nice little battle. Couple of gaps just beginning to creep in there as people find their way into the routine. And this battle between the 2 drivers, it's Nick Fallon, and I'm really sorry, driver in second at the moment, I can't remember your name, but you were very quick, and there's a rather unfortunate incident a little bit later on in the race involving a Sodi, which we will see. And that was kind of integral to what happens with this battle here. So we're just gonna sit in behind, just try and hold on to these guys, try and hold on to their coattails as much as we can. Yeah, this is, like I said, season 2 of the Sandown Park Super Champs. The Super Champs, they ran Super Champs and in kart. It was quite a short championship, and I was really pleased with how they went, actually. So I've won in my category, the heavyweight category, I won the Super Champs and I won the in kart. So this is actually kind of defending my title really a little bit. So I wasn't sure whether I was going to do this race. I can't do all of the Super Champs rounds anyway. I'm quite interested. Well, in fact, I have signed up to do a few Club 100 rounds as well, so I can't really get away with doing 3 championships all at the same time. I can't afford it at the time or the money. I'm not sure if I'm going to do all of this one, but I thought whilst I'm here, I've got a free day, it would be nice to see if I can defend the championship, even if I can't do every single round. And of course, it would be nice as well to have a race, which is kind of beginning to be what we're doing here now. We do sort of very slowly as these guys in front are battling, we do very slowly kind of creep up to the back of them. But it's that kind of time of the year now where if you're a heavyweight, it's very, very difficult to catch the lightweights. And particularly as we get closer to these guys, you can see what I mean. Now, in the winter months, the autumn, winter, and even the spring to an extent, you find that the cool air going into the engine really compensates for your weight, and then you've also got a little bit more energy going into the tyres, heating them up. So you know, the difference between the lightweights and the heavyweights in the colder conditions, from what I could see, was about 2/10 in favour of the lightweights. Yeah, they're still ever so slightly quicker, but there really wasn't very much in it. And that gap grows in the summer. Yeah, it does appear to be that, you know, maybe the heavyweight drivers are both overheating their tyres more quickly and suffering a little bit more on the straights. You would naturally assume that they would suffer a bit more on the straights anyway, but you find that when the engine's being fed warmer air, it's particularly noticeable, and you'll notice it into the infield straight here. It's not a great exit from me, actually. I didn't get the power on early enough there, and also down the main straight. It really felt like the tyres were sort of overinflated almost, and you get that when they're warm and the air inside them expands, and it's like driving on some balloons. So it took me a little while to realise how to drive the kart in these kinds of conditions, and I was almost sort of coasting into some of the corners just to avoid the slip as much as possible, and being really, really clean, trying to get as little slide on as possible. Now, when it was colder, it was really important to get the power on early, and if you had to you put a bit more slip angle into the rears and get the kart turned, glide the kart in to the corners so that you could get on the power earlier, that was fine. That worked really, really nicely. But here today, with these kind of temperatures, it is very warm on this day. Then really it was much more about keeping things really, really tidy as possible, just doing our best to keep hold of the two drivers in front. I'm sometimes asked about slipstream and if slipstreaming actually makes any kind of difference at all. Well, I'm not sure, but I would say probably it does. It's got to. If you think that cyclists use slipstream, they're not doing 56 miles an hour. I would have thought that there is a small benefit, although it's not immediately obvious. But if you look at some other karting videos, particularly some of the Club 100 ones, Steve Super GT Brown sometimes talks about slipstreaming effect at some of the different circuits around the UK. So I would have thought, there is some kind of small boost from being in the driver in front slipstream. So we're going to try and like I say, keep hold of these guys as best as possible. And Nick Fallon all over the back of P2 here. It's a really good battle to watch, as I'm just checking over my shoulder as well, making sure that there's no one sort of too close to me, because this is going to become a three-way battle. It's not quite a three-way battle at the moment, not quite close enough to take advantage if there's any kind of small mistake, but it will become a three-way battle, and I want to make sure that it's no bigger than that. The intensity really comes, Nick's problem is going to be keeping me behind at the same time as trying to get in front of the driver in front, and that's a notoriously difficult thing to do, because every time he goes offline I get a little bit closer, and so I'm sitting here, I'm very happy, P2 goes defensive, we check over our shoulder again. These guys have got the legs on me down the straight, undoubtedly, as they do things like this, it really, really helps bring me back into it. But like I say, I wasn't particularly quick today. I had old mate over from Australia, and we went out Friday night. I got absolutely battered. I hadn't been that drunk in quite a while. I was actually on a bit of a 2-day hangover, but I also thought it was a good idea to have some drinks on Saturday night as well. So yeah, I was a bit worried when I saw the practice times. I thought maybe I'd done myself some damage, some kind of alcohol-induced talent wastage or something like that. But as I got into the race, I did kind of learn how to drive this car. Another excellent outboard footage here. You can really see the kind of intensity of the battle here. P2 going defensive, and there we are into turn 3. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say now. But anyway, I wasn't feeling terribly well today. Oh yeah, that's right. I was a little bit confused because the car actually felt, in terms of its handling, it felt really good. I could see that I wasn't particularly kind of quick compared to some of the other drivers, but I had a race a few years ago. It was a race for Dante Dillon, actually, who's one of the former marshals on here. He's now the British indoor karting champion for his weight. He won this race actually, and I started off as we're beginning to catch some sodies. I started off in a kart which I didn't think was particularly good on the straights, but was excellent in the corners, and I changed it because I didn't feel that on the straights it would give me enough, and I swapped it to a kart that's had absolutely no rear grip, and I decided from that point it was better to have a kart which grips well than it was to have a kart which is sort of lacking a little bit of power. For me anyway, that was what I decided. So I chose not to change this kart. The handling was really nice, the braking was really nice. But actually, looking back at this, it's taken me a little while to put this video together. And looking back at it, maybe the brain cells have grown back or something, because I can see that I'm turning into quite a lot of these corners a little bit earlier, particularly turn 4. And particularly turn 3, so just here we might not get quite, so I haven't done it this time just because Nick's there and there's a bit of traffic in front, but in clean air I'm turning in too early. Again, this corner here, not doing it this time because again of the traffic, but this is this is a really intense part of Super Champs here. You've kind of got to make your way through the Sodi karts here as well. Now these guys are, they're getting lapped, but they're not getting lapped because they're slow. They're getting lapped because they're in a different type of kart. So we do have faster karts, as we're about to see here. They're not actually that much slower though. So sometimes you'll see later on in this race, we come up against the leading Sodi kart lightweights, and I perhaps could have gone for a lunge and just nibbled into the back of Nick there. Perhaps could have gone on to a bit of a lunge on them, but there's nothing for me to gain, nothing to lose by staying behind them, because they are quite quick in the corners and actually out of the corners as well. The Sodis are quicker than us out of the corners. It's just our top end absolutely destroys everything. It takes me about half a lap actually to get past them, and I have to wait until the front straight in order to go past them. So intense battle, still continuing. I'm just really enjoying watching this really. I'm feeling quite relaxed. Having won a couple of championships now, that's a real, without wishing to ham it up too much, that was a bit of an ambition. It's only a club championship, isn't it? As Nick goes on the curve, tries to cut back. This battle's really hotting up. Now Nick's got the inside line here, so I'm guessing he thinks it's done. Wondering if we can go through as well. Now Nick is looking at us here, and the P2 driver has an excellent piece of defensive driving, mugs a pair of us and goes back on the right hand side there. So really excellent driving as Nick loiters on the apex, stops me getting the power down. Excellent driving from him as well. There's a load of subtle driving techniques here, getting on the power early, loitering on the apex, which is actually really high quality, and well done if you're spotting any of them. The two drivers in front are two high quality drivers, and I'm enjoying watching the race. it's all good. So Nick's going to try again. Nick knows now what he needs to do, but it's not going to be easy. You need a reasonable delta. In Formula One, they call it delta. It means difference. It just means difference in terms of time. How much better off in terms of lap time you are, and you need a reasonable delta in order to make a clean pass, and we three are close enough at the moment to make it very, very difficult to make a pass unless someone makes a mistake or someone gets a bit unfortunate tripping over a back marker, and we have got a couple of back markers coming up again, and you can see that's quite a nice example there of just how you lose on the straight when you are a heavyweight. But yeah, we've got a couple more Sodis. Sodis seem to be coming up at us in pairs today. I don't really know why that is, but slightly awkward moment again here, slightly difficult. We're going to cut to an outboard again to see this, and here we are. It's a gaggle of us. The second Sodi sends us through, so we're all safely through. And the driver in P2 is also one ahead of us. But then a strange moment there from the Sodi driver. He puts P2 into the wall, and I don't know why he did that. I don't know if he realised that we were DMAX drivers. Presumably not, because it seems a crazy thing to do to lunge someone who's sort of lapping you, and the driver who was in P2 was rightly frustrated by that. I would be. I mean, a bit of good fortune for us there. This is what I mean here, like turning in too early, far too early there. In actual fact, in that case, the car gripped more than I thought it was going to, and we just went through. So I'm just going to start speeding things up a bit now, because there's not a huge amount that's just about to come up. I'm basically just trying to work really, really hard to keep Nick Fallon, who's up ahead of us, in sight. Driver who was in P2 comes back at us, and it's not quite a clean move, so he lets us go back through. Now that's exactly the right thing to do. If there was a bit of accidental contact, then you just let the other drivers, you let the driver back through again, and Marshall see that. And there's no harm done, and so it's all good. It has cost us a tiny bit of time, but Nick's faster than us at this point anyway. So I'm just pointing there at my armband. That denotes that I am a heavyweight, and I'm saying, you can go through. I won't fight you. As I turned round there, I could see that he wasn't quite close enough, actually. So whilst I'm saying you can go through, I'm not saying I'll back off, but I won't fight you if you're up alongside me. So I've just cut the footage down a few laps. This is actually a D40 race, so we're out there for 40 minutes. And again, not much really happening. We've just got Nick still in front of us. The gap is relatively stable. Some laps he's slightly quicker than me, some laps I pull it back in, some laps he gets a bit of traffic, some laps I get a bit of traffic. So really just trying to keep hold of him, and if there is any slipstream to have, then I want to try and grab hold of it. The driver who was in P2 in the green suit, unfortunately for him, I believe he got involved in an incident with another driver, so that spun him round, and unfortunately that sort of put him out of contention, which is a bit of a shame, because we're having a good battle and he was driving very well. So commiserations, but these things happen sometimes in karting, don't they? Essentially, without wanting to ruin it, we came home we came home to take the win in the heavyweight class. So really pleased with that. Didn't think that I was quite going to do it at the start of the day. I wasn't really feeling like I was particularly effective behind the wheel in today's race. I don't know what it was, combination of poor driving or taking a little while to learn how to drive this kart in these conditions. Probably not doing myself any favours in the condition that I turned up in. But it was quite a close run thing, actually. Apart from Tom Brown, who was much faster than everyone, everyone else was reasonably similar in terms of pace, which is it's quite unusual really, to have a pack of so many drivers on such a similar pace. So it was it was quite an intense sort of battle really, and it was certainly more interesting to be part of than to perhaps watch. If I could show you my rear view camera, I don't have a rear view camera, maybe I should get one. But if you could see the battle behind me, it'd probably be a bit more of an interesting watch. Maybe I'll look into that. You can see because there was if I made any mistakes, then I would have been punished for it. Mark my words, they're all there. So we actually came home 4th on the road. So we lost a position to a lightweight, the driver who came in 3rd place in the lightweight division, just on the last or second to last lap actually. Again, not a problem, but we actually waved her through because she was quicker, I could see her getting ever so slightly closer to me every lap. So no need to fight her. Different classes, different categories, and also like I say, if I'm honest, she was faster. So no need to get into an instant in the final 5 minutes or so of the race. So I hope you enjoy watching. I find watching kart footage very therapeutic actually. Sometimes it can send me to sleep. So if you're anything like me, please continue to watch, and thank you very much to anyone who's liked and subscribed. And if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, as a good YouTuber, I think that's what they all say, isn't it? Please do so. I'd really appreciate it. What we've got here, who's been a naughty boy, 130, no bumping. Naughty. Okay, I hope you enjoy the rest of the footage. We came home in P1, so good start. We used the Joker as well actually, which means that we get a 50% points boost. So P1 and a 50% points boost. Not quite a perfect day because we didn't come away with pole. I believe there's some points for pole, and we didn't get them. So later that was Andrew Clark. Andrew Clark came in second, and Ollie Waterton, I think, something like that. I can't remember your surname, sorry Ollie, joined us on the podium for 3rd place as well. So congratulations to you guys as well, and to everyone who took part. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.